to the members of the media. I think we all know that it was never going to be an easy game for us. For the fact that we played against a team that was losing confidence. They've been doing very well, they've been grinding results. And you look at their strength as well, I think they use their players wisely according to their strength, and it has been working for them. So we obviously have to plan for that, and also try our level best to make sure that we also punish them, or expose them, in their weaknesses. And I think we executed the plan. I think the players did very well, and I must give them credit for that, for executing the plan, and also their tactical endurance during the game when their energy levels were depleted. They kept the focus, discipline, because we knew that there's going to be a war, on the field, the combats. We were a lot of combats because of their style of play. So yes, first half, I think Ngema's addition, gave us a lot of, confidence on the ball, because we wanted to stay along on the ball, and having all those half tents and manage the half spaces, and control those spaces. And I think the second goal came from that. But even the first goal, you could see before we scored the first goal that you could score at any given time because of the way we were adding numbers inside the box, and our tactical flexibility as well was second to none. So I must give credit again once more to the players, for taking the instructions from the training to the game itself, and it paid off for us, because we were also desperate to get maximum points. And then got to the second half as well. I think we had about 3 or 4 clear-cut chances that we could have buried. We were not clinical, and we know that we could have done better. It would have been nice for us to score 4 goals in this game. It was going to boost the confidence of the players as well, for them to see as well that it's possible that they can turn things around. Yes, we still have a lot of work to do, and I think if there's one thing that worked for us today was having a lot of positive, first touch, and most of us, we will take those things lightly or for granted, but those are the details in the game that let players down, losing the ball cheaply, and end up being punished, even when we're on the front foot. So I must give credit to the boys when it comes to it. I think it's been working from the training grounds. Now we're taking it to the field itself. Yes. Probably also the break that we're going to have is more of a blessing in disguise for us to be able to work with the team, and get certain things, in terms of improvement better. But I must say, more than the game itself, I'm proud of their attitude today, the way they approached the game. I think they showed character, and we would love to take that. We'd like to see them, taking that to another level, and not to drop the ball.
Yes, Coach. Colleagues, let's take 2 questions at a time, Coach, if you don't mind, and then we go to the coach. Please introduce yourself and
well done, Magete, for the win. It's Big Mike from Vuma FM and Marawa Sports Worldwide. Coach, was this turning point lebekadevele needinga as a team, and what is that we can actually look forward to going to games alandelayo? And lastly, mhlambe mesesiza kuma games wenu, just wanted to find out ukuthi nisebenza kanjani no coach Kalo, niyahlukaniselana yini ama games ukuthi okay, this one is yours, this one is mine, so just take us through that one.
Okay, thank you, sir. I will start with the last one. Look, we share the responsibility. We obviously sit down, discuss, and plan. You know, for the whole month in a way. We even packaged the game. For an example, we knew that the turnaround time was going to be very short, preparing for Pirates and Chippa. So we had to package, you know, those two games. You know, and knowing how much, you know, demands, you know, in terms of the players, you know, they want to give their best, and some of them we also anticipate that you might have a red card, you might have a yellow card, you know, suspended players, also injuries. So now you have to keep everyone on toes. So we share the responsibility. Like we said before, we think alike, you know, we discuss, we make a decision together, you know, which is the good thing, you know, and you can see we've known each other for some time now. And I'm trying to get, you know, the right word. Say, everything is about the team. It is not about me, it's not about Coach Khan, it is not about the technical team, but it's about the team itself. AmaZulu is a huge brand, and we all know what is at stake. So as long as we are here for a common goal, I foresee no danger, you know. I see us going far, you know, I see us, you know, changing things for the better. When you look at the squad that we have assembled as well, and yes, maybe a lot of people, when I said we've got so much quality in this team, maybe they think I know I'm dreaming, I don't know, but there is quality in the team. Yes, here and there a few additions, but at the moment we're not even thinking about, you know, additions. Like I said, we need to give everyone a fair chance. And you must have seen today, and actually ever since we took over, you look at our games, the impact that is made by the players from the bench. And even today, let alone that they did not score, we were already leading 2-0, but the impact was positive, you know. So yeah, so far so good, you know, from the team. I don't know if I've answered everything that you have asked. The turning point. No, I wouldn't say it's a turning point. Look, it's still early, you know. I know a lot of people always say we are fighting relegation. I didn't see it that way. How can you fight relegation when you still have 25 games left? There's still a lot to play for. You start fighting relegation when you are left with 5 games. According to my understanding, 5 games. It also depends on the other teams, how they're doing, and the gap as well between you and the teams that are there, you know. Then you can start talking relegation, you know. Right now, we're not even thinking relegation. We're thinking improving the team and doing better for the team and challenging, you know, because we're in this league to compete.
Yes, Coach, I acknowledge yourself, and okay, so the two of you, and then we come to Ubafonga. Will it be okay, 4 questions and then we go on? Are we okay? Okay, start there.
Hi, Coach.
Press on that control.
Hi, Coach. Let me use my voice. Original. Hi, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. Just wanna ask about how important is the role played by the senior players. We've got a handful of players like Mphahlele, Mtswari, Mobara, you know, those guys who've been in the so-called big teams in Joburg. How important is the role they play? Maybe one can speak about maybe at times about the disadvantage in terms of age and stuff, but maybe on the positive side, how important is the role they play, senior players?
Okay, thanks for the question, my leader. I think when it comes to the senior players and the youngsters, the minute you see it that way, then you have a problem. Age is just a number. It's all about how you look after yourself. We've just played a game now, and we know most of the players, they're disciplined, they want to be going home tomorrow, you're coming back for a gym, then give them a complete day off, then you start working again. You know, because we're in the level where we need to focus, we need to remain calm, you know, and be focused, and be disciplined at the same time. And let alone dedication and commitment, you know, they play a huge role, you know, in any player that wants to make it big. So we must have seen their performance as well today. They've shown leadership on the field, and they are guiding the youngsters well. So what is important for us is to strike a balance. It's not about the age. If a player performs well, he'll always play. You know, the competition also will be stiff for everyone, because that's what you look at the competition between Valley and Foreign. You know, it's a very good, healthy competition. So it goes to all the other positions as well. You know, and the players, infield players, you know, to always give their best from the training grounds that will lead to the game itself. Then be able to set the standard and also be able to compete, because we do believe that we have a very good team. We don't see them as senior players. We see them as leaders that will also lead the youngsters, you know, to a better future on and off the field.
Junior, I was pressed.
Good evening, Coach. Only from Solezwe. And I just wanted to find out about Ekstein, his performance today, and how important it is to have a player that can create and score goals when you need them.
Thanks for the question. Look, if you look at Pule's impact from the two previous games, you must have seen how important he is, you know, for the club. Unfortunately, he comes from, you know, a long layoff, you know, injury, and we needed to manage him, you know, because we don't want him to break down again. Then we don't have a player of his caliber right now, and obviously trying to help the other youngsters, you know, to get to his level in terms of penetrating, in terms of reading the game. So that we can be able to have our clear identity as to now we have player like for like, you know, in terms of players that when Pule is out, another player, when he comes in, he gives us the very same energy and tactical understanding of the game. So I think at one stage we wanted to take him out because we were afraid that what if something happened to him, okay, but we said, you know what, we still have enough time. But you could see his energy levels were already depleted. He was already battling. But because of his experience as well, we said, no, hang in there. You know, as long as now you can be able to keep the ball for us. And he managed to do that because we wanted to keep him on the field for that. You know, it was very, very important, you know, towards the end of the game for us to keep the ball and frustrate the oppositions, and he did very well.
Colleagues.
Evening, Coach. Lusanda here from Soccer Lab Duma. I know you mentioned that it's still a long way to go for the rest of the season, but do you feel like, and also it is your first one of the season, but do you feel like the team is getting closer to yours and Coach Kanu's vision of how they should be playing?
Yeah, look, the vision, when it comes to the vision, is the vision of the club, not my, you know, our vision, you know, myself and Coach Kanu. Look, like I said, you know, we don't want to put players under pressure, because the minute you put players under pressure, start talking about relegation, many other things, they start losing themselves, they start thinking about other things. We just want to make sure that they start believing in themselves. And once they can be able to perform, you know, I think they'll know now that they are good enough to be in this league to compete, not to be fighting relegation. And once you get that right, then you'll be able to grind the results. You know, so as I said, I've mentioned the identity. You know, as long as every player is comfortable in the way we want to play, I think it will benefit, you know, each and every one of us, you know, from the technical staff to the playing personnel, and also, the management of the team will be proud of what, in terms of the decision they've made in bringing us on board.
Coach, the relief of moving off the table, how relief are you? And do you think that this win was coming from your side? Looking at the game against Stellenbosch, you flooded the box entries very well against Stellenbosch, and also Pirates towards the end of the game. You also played very well in that game. Do you think that the win you sensed that it was coming, and if not, were you sensing that if let's say you don't get wins, it will turn out to a mental block? Players maybe they don't take instruction to you, but it's just that something that is blocking them to perform to the level that you want.
Yeah, as I said earlier, that the minute you keep on talking about relegation, guys, let's win. At the bottom, people, let's forget about what people are saying out there. Let's look at ourselves, let's look at our strengths and weaknesses. What can work for us? This is what can work for us. So whatever is going to work for us, that's going to turn things around for us. Because you can't want to grind results when you don't have a way of grinding results. We have to understand why I'm grinding results. We have to say, if I go there, if I don't get this, I have to get that. So that's why I'm saying, obviously it's been ringing in their heads. Their heads in terms of, hey, we played the first game, we lost. We played the second game, we lost. We played the third game, we lost. We played the fourth game, we lost again. So the minute or the more you mention that to them, you're actually killing their confidence. You are saying to them, you guys are not good enough. So fortunately, we've been there, myself and Coach Kano. We played football. We've been through a lot, tough times. So we understand all these things. We know when you start mentioning all those things to the players, obviously now it's going to be that mental blockage. You understand what I'm saying? But now the minute you say, guys, listen, we lost, it's history, it's gone. Let's forget about it. What's next now? Let's talk about now the present. The present and the future. So what is it that we have in front of us that we need to deal with right now? In terms of short term, then long term, this is what you're looking for. So be a businessman in football. Don't be just a soccer player. Because some of us are not lucky enough to play until we are 40 or we are 38 or we are 37. But if God, grants you that, then why not grab it? Because at the end of the day, football is a very short career. So we want to talk about relegation now, because that's not where AmaZulu belongs. When you look at the squad they've assembled over the years, and the history, the brand itself, I'm glad to see people happy today. But we can't be talking about, relegation. Like I said, there's still a lot to play for. There's a lot at stake. We want to take one game at a time.
Coach.